Hi guys, Mindful Musings here, and it was highly requested of me by a few of my Patreons that you guys wanted me to talk about manifestation, about what manifestation rituals I do, what manifestation rituals you can do, what are simple things you can do every day to implement manifestation into your life, and what exactly manifestation is, right? Everybody is talking about it. It's a very trendy topic nowadays about manifestation and how to manifest and what to do. But it does come with a confusion of sorts because it's like, what exactly is it, right? What exactly does that entail? So I was curious myself and I went ahead and asked the Akashic Records what manifestation is. And so if you don't know, the Akashic Records is essentially a collection of every emotion, thought, feeling, everything that has created a memory or that has created energy is in the Akashic Records. So information of people's past lives, of historical locations, historical events, of places, objects, anything like that is located in the Akashic Records. And the Akashic Records is essentially a library of information. And so when I channeled, I'm receiving information from the Akashic Records and I write it down so that I won't forget it. So I asked my Akashic Records keeper, what is manifestation? Manifestation is a direct output to what you put into yourself, meaning the intentions you have within yourself are the ones you harness to facilitate your reality. Think of it like a generator. Manifestation is simply learning how to work with your inner generator of energy in order for you to reach your desired outcome. So, if that sounds a little bit confusing, what I received from this was kind of how the inside of our human vessels, right, are kind of like generators of energy, right? Like everything's always in flux, everything's always in motion, everything is just a big generator of energy, everything is creating energy, creating matter, right? Matter can't be created or destroyed, but as a metaphor with energy, it's always there, it's always in flux, right? And with manifestation, you're learning how to work with your inner generator of energy, right? Like with your inner conduit of energy and how to kind of work with it, how to maneuver it around your reality, around your space, around the inner parts of your desires so that you can manifest that into your physical reality, so that you can implement that into your physical reality to reach your desired outcome. So my next question was, how does one manifest? In order to manifest, using visualization and emotion is key. But more than that, surrendering past the need of any specific intention is the most important step. All one has to do is direct an intention from a heart-centered space. Feel and experience in your mind's eye what that intention entails and let go of expectations of a specific outcome because you won't always get what you want exactly the way you want it or plan for it to come. It is important to let go of desperation and make sure when one manifests, they are not feeling emotionally turmoiled towards their outcome. Meaning, if you want to manifest something such as money, do so from a place of gratitude, not because you're desperate for money. Manifesting from a place of desperation or fear means your desired outcome won't come, and instead, you may end up manifesting the opposite scenario. So what does that mean? That means that when we want to start manifesting or do like our manifestation rituals, when we implement it into our daily lives, we want to make sure that we're not doing it from a place of desperation, right? So let's say you really want to meet a soulmate, right? You really want to be in a romantic relationship, But if you do your manifestation rituals, your manifestation practices from feeling like you are not whole within yourself, or that you need someone to complete you in some way, that can end up creating the opposite scenario for you. Like maybe it ends up that you're single for longer, or that you don't attract your soulmate, you just attract a temporary person, and things like that, right? So they gave an example here when they talked about manifesting money, such as manifesting money. You want to do it from a place of gratitude. So you want to make sure throughout your manifestations that you're having that gratitude, that you're doing it from a place of being grateful for what you already have, so that you can put that gratitude towards your future. Because when you receive that manifestation, you can be grateful for it. You can notice that you have received it. You can realize you have received it, and not that it's just another kind of like passing by thing, right? And gratitude is something that they really amplified a lot. They spoke of a lot. Having gratitude is super, super important for boosting our manifestations, for speeding up our manifestations in that way. And I'll go a little more into that when I read the rest of what they told me. What are some daily manifestation rituals one can place into their lives? Charging your water with intentions to attract love, abundance, and prosperity. Water is alive in a sense and can be a powerful manifestation tool. That's really true, because there was actually an experiment about that from Dr. Emoto, that he got 2 experiments like of rice with water, I think, and he charged one rice bowl and just said hateful things towards it, said things like, I hate you, you're disgusting, this and that, right? These gross, hateful words towards the rice. And then towards the other rice, he said very nurturing, loving, encompassing kinds of affirmations, or like, I love you, and this and that, towards the other rice bowl. And then after about, I think it was a week or two, the hate rice bowl was very like, it was kind of molding over, and it was like, it smelled putrid. But then the rice bowl that had loving affirmations to it was, I remember reading that it smelled like a floral scent of some kind, and that it was not really molding over. It was kind of still a little fresh in that way. So if you guys want to research that, it's really interesting. But it is true that water does carry a lot of manifestations, and we can see that through the water experiment, and we can see that water is a powerful tool of manifestation. I was surprised when they mentioned that, because wow, I had totally forgotten about it. But yeah, water is a very powerful tool. So they also mentioned speaking affirmations of love, abundance, and prosperity as you shower and lather your skin with soap. Because when you're showering, or when you're taking a bath, you're kind of like in water, you're diluted in water, you're submerged in water, right? So speaking those kinds of affirmations of abundance and prosperity helps speed up your manifestations in that way. It helps attract your manifestations, your desires. Being grateful before and after every meal, giving thanks for being able to nourish your body, being grateful towards the little things in your life, such as having a backyard to run around in and having a roof over your head. Having a gratitude journal and writing in your gratitude journal daily, they kind of capitalize daily, will greatly speed up your manifestations. These are some simple ways you can place your spirit in the timeline where you have your manifested desires. So having a gratitude journal can really help speed up your manifestations in the way that they come quicker to you than you would expect. And this is because having more gratitude opens up your heart space more. It opens you up more to receiving. Because if you're like, thank you, universe, God, source, whatever you like to call it, thank you for this food I have on my table, for this yard I have to run around in. Thank you for a beautiful sunny day. Thank you for the peace I feel right now. Thank you for me being able to buy this new thing or get this new thing, me being able to have financial stability, or me being able to one day reach that financial stability. What also helps with manifestations is being grateful for what you don't have yet, but what you will have in the future. So let's say you're trying to manifest financial freedom, right? What you can start saying is, thank you, universe, for this job I have. Thank you for the financial freedom I will have. Thank you for what I do have right now and what I will have in the future. And you can start kind of acting like you have whatever your manifestations are, in a sense, right? Like if you want to manifest love or a new job, you can start giving gratitude as if you have that manifestation in your place already, in your present moment, in your present life already. But not to attach feelings of desperation onto it. You don't want to manifest from a feeling of fear, from having fear or desperation onto it, because it can kind of slow down your manifestations, or as they mentioned, you may end up manifesting the opposite scenario. That's interesting. That hasn't happened to me, but that's interesting. Are there any rules to manifestation? It's not that there are rules. Manifestation is relatively fluid in nature and comes easier with more practice and an understanding of how to place yourself in the present moment more often. The more present you are, the more your spirit can fly freely with its desires of the future. That is because having your consciousness in your body speeds up your manifestations. This opens you up to fully receiving them. Not being present can cause your manifestations to take a lot longer than needed. So essentially, not being present in your body can cause your manifestations to take a lot longer than needed. So not being grounded, not being fully conscious in your body. And that's something that I have personally had to work with that daily, or else I become very ungrounded. My consciousness goes all over the place if I personally don't focus on grounding myself in the present every single day. Even if I miss a day of being present, of trying to ground myself in the present, then it happens that like I'm all over the place. I don't even know what I'm doing and I just feel lost, and it has slowed down my manifestations for me to be ungrounded in the past. So I can see that this has rung true for me. That's really interesting. Wow. I didn't get a chance to read over these, so I'm just kind of like reading them back to myself for the first time, and wow. The more present you are, the more your spirit can fly freely with its desires of the future. Wow. That is very true. I can see that in my own life, how that has reflected in my own life. When I have really wanted something from a place of desperation, when I have really wanted something from a place of not being present, not being grounded, anywhere that's not from a heart-centered place or from a grounded place, and or has always resulted in me not getting it, not receiving it. But whenever I have focused on manifesting from my heart, from being present, for being grateful for what I already have, it has always worked out for me. So they didn't talk about this, but that's it for their questions. But I also wanted to talk about what I personally use for manifestation. So I like to use the phases of the moon with manifestations, And with that, I find that new moons are wonderful times to get your intentions started for manifestations, to get the thought going, right? To get that engine to start rumbling, right? And with that, like what I usually do personally is I will write down a list of what I would like to manifest during the full moon. And I put what I already have and what I'm grateful for. And then you can do what you would like with it. For me, it's very intuitive, so it might change a little bit depending on how I feel or whatnot. But I find it's easier for me to burn it so I could release those manifestations out into the spirit world so it can come towards me in the physical world. Some people find it better that they bury their manifestations under the earth so that it can grow, flourish, nourish, or they bury it with a plant that they might have. For me, fire really helps because fire kind of like ignites it. It turns it into ash so it can be released. I'm like surrendering in a sense. So maybe that's why my manifestations have come to me relatively quickly. Maybe because I have surrendered, and the fire has kind of been like a symbol of me surrendering in a sense. Like, forget about it, I burn it, it's gone. But yeah, just find what works for you. There's different things that people might do. I have also manifested with bay leaves, and bay leaves are really great for a lot of things, and they're really great for like quick, small manifestations that you want to do. For example, I just used a bay leaf the other day to get a refund from this company that wanted to charge me something. My trial was up and they wanted to charge me, and what I did was I wrote refund on my bay leaf while I was on the phone with them, and I burned it because they told me they couldn't give me the refund. But then after I burned my bay leaf and I put the intention of receiving that refund and I burned it, they came on the phone like 10 minutes later telling me that they'll do a one-time kind of thing for me. So that has definitely turned up my luck in those ways. Bay leaves are really good, I think, for quick kind of manifestations, for like things you want in your life. But to me, bay leaves feel more like something like it happens quite naturally, quite fast. I don't know if I would personally use bay leaves for very big things. I think for very big manifestations, like for example, wanting to manifest a specific apartment, or maybe wanting to manifest something larger in nature, I think those might require a greater ritual so that you can put more energy into that and more intention into that. Like a ritual that might last like 20 to 30 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on what you feel is right for you. And putting more intention into that so it kind of like comes to you a lot quicker. I mean, not quicker, so you're putting more energy into it. But having gratitude does help your manifestations come a lot quicker. So I also find that candle manifestations have personally worked for me. I go to my local botanica and I get the 7-day candles. I really like those because you can read with the 7-day candle. It's kind of like a spell in a sense, and you can read with the suit on the candle that it leaves over on how exactly that's going to go for you, right? Like if you have black suit, it usually means that your manifestation / spell is being blocked in some sense or in some way. And if you have white suit, it means that your manifestation is going to come through for you, that your manifestation is going to is being supported by your spirit guides, your ancestors, by your spirits, right? And I do want to say that once you have a hold of what exactly you want and you do the ritual, you want to release it in a sense, like just to let go of it in a way, because it can be constricting, like to just think about it all the time, think about it and like place expectations as to how exactly it's going to come into your life. Because when we do that, when we place the energy of expectations, it's kind of like, what if it wants to come to you a different way and you don't exactly know you're not allowing yourself to receive an alternate route that the manifestation can come to you, because you're so fixated on getting it from A to B. But maybe the manifestation is going to come to you from A to C to F to Z to B, right? So it might not always come exactly how you plan for it to come. A lot of things don't, right? Especially when we try to control the universe in a sense, like surrendering really helps with letting go of control, right? But when you try to control the universe in a sense, through wanting your things to come a certain way, it can affect things in the grand scheme of things, right? Like, let's say you want a new job, and you really want this new job and you really want it in your life, and maybe you do manifest that job, but let's say you're trying to focus on manifesting that new job. What if someone had to get fired for you to get that job, and you're really hyper focused on this job, and then it doesn't come to you? But when you release that expectation, what if an even better job comes around, right? You put the energy towards getting this new job, but what if the universe is like, okay, I see where you're coming from, but look at this even better job that's gonna pay you more and treat you better and have a nicer manager, yada yada, right? So you just want to be mindful of that when you're doing your manifestations. If you want to manifest things in a specific way, be open to the possibility of it coming another route, right? Like, I want this new job. You could end up getting it, but also be open to the possibility of getting an even better job or something else that might come along your path, right? And with that, I will also add that writing a diary entry to yourself has also been helpful for me. What I would do is during the full moon, the new moon as well, but for me, I have noticed that the new moon, not just for me actually, but I have noticed in general, the new moon is more of a time to take physical kind of steps, physical action, and the full moon is more for intention setting and intention setting of those manifestations you want to come into place. So you can write a diary entry to yourself, and you essentially can be like, I want to have financial freedom and a new apartment and da-da-da-da. And you want to talk about how it's going to make you feel once you have that manifestation. Like, you really want to sense it with your 5 senses. So think about using your 5 senses. What's it going to taste like? What's it going to feel like? What's it going to add to your life? And you want to talk about what exactly are you going to do with that energy? Like, what value will it add to your life, and how are you going to serve another through that manifestation? It doesn't have to be some grand scale, like you need to serve the world with this manifestation, but more like, I want financial freedom so I can move into an apartment and have comfort for my children, have comfort for my spouse, have comfort for myself, financial comfort so that I can support my family. That's serving another one. That's going towards a transpersonal experience, right? You're serving yourself, but you're also serving someone else. It can be anything like that, right? You just want to make sure you're putting emotion to it. It feels so good to have this financial freedom. I'm so happy. I'm so grateful. So writing a letter, like a diary to yourself, as if you already have that manifestation in your hands, really, really can help you. I have also noticed having a manifestation journal. Having a journal, it can be a normal journal that you write in it every day or every other day or however often you write in it, and you can just write down those manifestations as if you already have them in a way. And not just having that, you could also even have your own manifestation journal if you want. But I will say that writing in it every day will help with the intention setting with that. But at the same time, as the Akashic Records mentioned, you want to let go of desperation. So it's not that you can't repeat your manifestations, like doing them, but you might want to surrender more and try not to control the process, but more so like when you focus on intention setting for the same manifestation, try to leave some time in between, and try to forget about it or surrender from it, and then kind of like, if you would like to work with the moon as I do, then you go towards that route for yourself, or whatever feels right for you. It's very flexible, it's very fluid. Everyone has their own way of manifestation. If you look up how to manifest, you'll find 50 different ways of manifesting, you know. So really, it's a relatively you experience, a very relatively intuitive experience, and you just got to learn how to work with your own energy, how to work with your own kind of style of manifestation, so you can work with it within yourself. I know there's also something called specific and non-specific manifestors, and I know it's like the right bottom corner at your human design. Like if it's to the left, I think you're non-specific, and if it's to the right, you're specific manifestor. I don't know too much about that, but if you look up human design, manifestation, how to manifest with human design or something like that, I'm sure you will find some topics on that, some videos on that. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you to my Patreons that asked me about these questions. And yeah, feel free to let me know if you guys want to see any other videos, any other content, and I am open for readings. So if you want to book a personal reading with me, you can go on my website, and feel free to subscribe to my YouTube, because I'll most likely be making more videos and releasing more content. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have a lovely rest of your week.